Hi, and welcome to our audiobook series brought to you by Burgapoly Publishing. Let the journey begin. Today we are presenting
Chapter 17, Jalopolis University. Tom paced the room, his restless energy pressing against the walls. How much longer are we going to be stuck in here? John exhaled, his patience wearing thin as well. He moved toward the now unlocked door. Let's find out. As he stepped into the dimly lit corridor, the man who had taken their information appeared in the emptiness ahead. His voice carried down the hallway. Good news! The drone threat in this area is gone. You've been cleared for transport to your school. Tom blinked. Did I hear him right? Chi and Valerie emerged from the room, their expressions shifting from wary skepticism to cautious relief. They're taking us to the university, John repeated as the man came to a stop before them. Valerie let out a breath. Finally! John wasted no time. When do we leave? The man's answer was immediate. Now! They followed him through the silent, empty hallways. The absence of movement, the feeling of a space recently abandoned or long forgotten, gnawed at the edges of John's mind. Then a door, the outside, the waiting sky. The parking lot held several vehicles, sleek and silent. Their guide led them to a single one, where a man already sat in the driver's seat, waiting. As they reached the vehicle, their escort gave a short nod. Good luck to all of you. John returned the gesture. Thanks for everything. The others murmured their gratitude. Then they boarded. The vehicle lifted off, leaving the building and its quiet corridors behind. As they ascended, the city stretched out before them. Smoke rose in thin, winding columns, drifting skyward. The driver glanced back, his tone level. That smoke is from the drone attack. John's gaze followed the plumes. How bad was it? The driver adjusted his course. Surprisingly, not much structural damage. The drones weren't targeting buildings. A pause. They were targeting people. A chill settled over the cabin. John sat back, his expression unreadable. They've restricted flying in the city? Yes, the man confirmed. That's why I can take you. Your university is on the outskirts. If it were inside the city, you'd still be waiting. 15 minutes passed in tense silence. Then, descent. A cleared expanse stretched beneath them, carefully maintained. The university. It stood as an island of order, with manicured lawns, trimmed hedges, and brick buildings that seemed untouched by the chaos beyond. As the vehicle settled onto the landing pad, the driver spoke without turning. They told me to bring you here. Someone will meet you. John nodded. Appreciate the ride. They disembarked, stepping onto solid ground. Tom turned, taking it in. Looks like a typical university. Yet, something felt off. Chi's brow furrowed. Where is everyone? Valerie's voice was quieter now. I was wondering the same thing. The emptiness around them was too complete. The university was here. The landscapes were kept. The buildings stood, but the people were missing. The door swung open before they reached it. A gray-haired woman stood in the threshold, her posture rigid with urgency. Hurry inside. Her voice was low and measured, but there was no mistaking the undercurrent of tension. They obeyed. As they stepped into the dimly lit corridor, she pulled the door shut behind them, securing it with a finality that sent an unspoken message. Outside was danger. Inside was sanctuary. The school is on lockdown, she said, motioning them forward. Follow me to the office. John fell into step beside her. Because of the drones? Partly. She didn't slow. The authorities have warned us that a full-scale invasion may be coming. We're taking precautions. John exchanged a glance with Chi. A full-scale invasion. Tom's voice broke the quiet. Where is everyone? She glanced at him briefly before answering. We have 2 major research stations, one on the northern ice cap, another in the jungle. Many staff and students evacuated to one of those facilities. The rest are confined to their dormitories. They reached the office, its sterile lighting making the space feel colder than it was. Chi hesitated at the doorway. Where will we go? The woman turned to face them. Her expression softened, but only slightly. The last shuttles have already left. You'll have to stay here. The words settled over them, a mixture of relief and resignation. She motioned toward a row of chairs. Please, have a seat. They sat. The weight on their shoulders began to ease for the first time in what felt like days. The woman folded her arms, studying them. From what the water department told me, it sounds like you young people have had a rough time since arriving. Tom smirked. He glanced at the others before answering. Yeah, you could say that. A rare hint of warmth flickered in her gaze. Your fortunes should improve now. She turned back to her desk, processing their records, what little information remained of their stolen identities. A few moments later, she handed them a printed map. You've all been assigned to the same building. Ladies on the 3rd floor, gentlemen on the 2nd. She set the paper in John's hand. Or if you still have your cells, you can download the school's app. It has everything you need to know. Tom gave a dry chuckle, standing. Guess that leaves us out. Our cells are long gone. The woman nodded as if she already knew. With that, they left the office. The hallways were quiet, unnervingly so. The emptiness of the school felt hollow and abandoned, a place not yet touched by war, but waiting for it. As they neared the dormitory elevator, Chi exhaled. I can't wait to take a shower. Tom grinned. I'm showering, then sleeping for 2 days. John glanced at the others. Let's meet up later. They agreed and split up. The woman placed Chi and Valerie together, then assigned John and Tom to a shared room, Scott's room just down the hall. As Tom stepped inside their assigned space, he let out an unimpressed huff. For a new university, this is pretty basic. John scanned the room. Small, efficient, functional. It reminded him too much of the ship. Yeah, same layout as the ones in transit. He exhaled, stretching his shoulders. Still better than being locked up in that jungle camp. Tom grinned. At least we have our own bathroom. He pushed open a door, flipping the light switch. I'm showering first. John waved him off, sinking into the desk chair. Sleep found him instantly, minutes later. Hey! A muffled shout. John's eyes flickered open. There are no towels in here, Tom's voice echoed from the bathroom. John smirked as sleep pulled him under again. Some things never change. John cracked open one eye, groggy and half-aware, blinking toward the bathroom. From inside, Tom's voice rang out, frustrated, dripping with exasperation. Okay, so what am I supposed to do now? I'm soaked, and there's nothing in here to dry off with. John let out a heavy sigh, pressing his palms against the bed as he forced himself upright. Let me look around. His voice was thick with fatigue. His eyes scanned the room, searching for anything remotely useful. Then, something. A rag, half hidden near Tom's bed. Probably dropped by whoever cleaned the room last. He held it up. Thin, worn, but clean. Found something. Tom didn't hesitate. I'll take it. John stepped into the bathroom, holding the rag aloft like some dubious prize. There's just one problem. Tom stiffened. What? John smirked, holding the rag up. It's kind of small. Tom stared at it. Disbelief, resignation, acceptance. Great. Fine. Give it here. John handed it over. Just as he stepped out, a knock sounded at the room's front door. He shut the bathroom door behind him and moved toward the entrance. As he swung it open, Chi stood there, Valerie and Scott at her side. Hello again? John eyed them curiously. What's up? Chi didn't answer immediately. Instead, her gaze swept the room. Where's Tom? Shower. Chi's brow arched slightly. Oh, so you have towels? John exhaled, already knowing where this was going. No. A pause. Chi folded her arms. So, how's he going to dry off? John rubbed the back of his neck. I found him a rag. A rag? Chi smirked. Yeah, you know. A rag. He gestured vaguely toward the bathroom. I found it on the floor, but it was clean. Chi blinked. Valerie stifled a laugh. I'm clueless about you two, Chi muttered, shaking her head. Anyway, since we don't have the luxury of rags, we figured you might want to walk over to the student exchange and pick up some clothes. And maybe actual towels. She turned slightly. But if you're all set... John straightened immediately. No, we could use some clothes and towels. He stepped aside, motioning for them to come in. Just give Tom a minute. By the way, How are we supposed to get clothes if we don't have any credits? Chi's expression didn't shift. She had already anticipated the question. When our parents signed us up for school, they had to fund an account for meals and essentials. That includes clothes. John frowned. I thought this place was on lockdown. It's probably closed. Chi shook her head. I checked. It's in the basement of this building. They're staying open. John let out a short breath. Finally, something that is working in our favor. Tom emerged from the bathroom, his clothes clinging to him in damp patches. Stray droplets of water still trailed from his hair, catching in the dim light. Hey, what's up, everyone? He wiped his face with his hand as if that would make a difference. John smirked. We're heading to the store for towels and clothes. Want to come? Tom considered running a hand through his soaked hair. A useless effort. Yeah, I guess. Then his brow furrowed. How? We don't have any credits. John let out a short laugh. Already asked that. Apparently, our parents set up accounts for meals and clothes when they signed us up. Tom snorted. I don't think my parents did. John shrugged. Then come find out. You've got nothing to lose. Tom hesitated for only a moment before shaking his head and straightening his damp shirt, which stubbornly stuck to his skin. Yeah, okay, let's go. Chi moved behind him, shaking her head. Here, let me help you. With one swift tug, she pulled the fabric into place. John chuckled. Ready now? Tom flashed a grin. Yep. Am I ready, Chi? Chi rolled her eyes and gave him a gentle shove. Yes, you're ready. They made their way down the hall, descending 3 flights of stairs to the basement level. As they stepped through the entrance, the space before them unfolded into something familiar yet surreal. A store. Shelves lined with clothes, food, and supplies. Racks carefully stocked. And people, students, milling about, waiting for time to pass. From an adjacent room, laughter drifted in waves. The game room was filled with others, trapped within the lockdown's invisible walls. Life continued. Chi's voice pulled them back. Let's make sure we have accounts before we buy anything. Tom gave a dry chuckle. Yeah, let's. I'm not hopeful. Scott nodded toward the left, near the checkout counters. Looks like someone who can help us. They approached the counter, where a girl with dark, curly hair sat behind a terminal. She stood up as they neared, her eyes scanning them with the casual efficiency of someone who had done this 100 times already. One by one, they gave their information. Her fingers moved swiftly over the interface. A moment passed. Then, a nod. You're all set. Tom's brows furrowed, puzzled. Even me? The girl smirked. Yes, even you. Chi stepped closer to Valerie, whispering with a knowing smile. Told you, he exaggerates about his parents. Tom's head snapped toward her, eyes narrowing. I heard that. Valerie grinned as she reached for Chi's hand. Come on, Rumi, let's go shopping. Chi let herself be pulled along, her amusement evident. We'll catch you guys later. Valerie tossed the words over her shoulder as they disappeared into the aisles. Scott watched them go, then turned back to the others. Tom cleared his throat, attempting a poor imitation of Valerie's voice. Come on, Rumi, let's go shopping. Then with exaggerated enthusiasm, you can come too, Scotty. John and Scott rolled their eyes in unison. Then, laughter. The 3 of them stepped further into the store. They spotted the girls near the bedding section, where they were meticulously choosing sheets. Chi glanced up, an eyebrow raised. Do you guys need help picking out things for your beds? Tom scoffed, waving a hand. No, we're good. John scowled. Yes, we do. Chi chuckled. Okay, we'll help you with bedding. But clothes? You're on your own. Valerie smirked. Different department. After gathering clothes, towels, and essentials, the guys wandered back to where the girls were. John set his things down. How's everything going? Chi straightened. We just finished. Not really, Valerie corrected, but it's late, and we want to clean up, so we're stopping here. Tom stretched. How about after we all clean up, we get something to eat? I'm starving. John chuckled. Not surprised, but yeah, I think we all are. He glanced around at the group. Meet back at our place in 45? Chi nodded. Sounds like a plan. Tom hesitated, then, with grave seriousness, On second thought, I'm buying snacks first. I can't wait 45 minutes. John sighed, shaking his head. They returned to their rooms, showered, changed, and met up again. A small grill in the basement provided a quick but satisfying meal. Afterward, they parted ways and returned to their rooms. The first real night of rest in too long, until...
Thanks for listening to another chapter of Into the 6th Millennium, The Invasion of Zephro. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss future audiobooks. You'll find links below to get the book, explore more titles from the series, and grab official merch. We've also included some affiliate links to the tools we use to bring this project to life.